What we're gonna do right here is go back, way back, back into time.
Hello, hello. Welcome. What's going on out there, traders? From all the spheres, cryptos, futures, options, Forex a little bit. We don't really talk about Forex that much. But, hey, it's there. I guess Bitcoin, maybe cryptos could be in that box. Hope y'all are having an awesome day so far. Happy Mondays. And happy February. It's the first day of the new month. January is behind us. It's an interesting month, that's for sure. Not a terrible start to the year, though. Oh, man. All right, well, let's just jump into some charts. Sorry, I was looking over here at another screen, just seeing some movements in the futures. They had a big tear today. I know it does say they're only up about 2-ish% across the board, but they're up a lot more than that from the Sunday dip. And what I'm talking about is back over here. Right here. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but yeah, just from this dip, man, up about 3% just on that. Russell's up like 4-something%. Big moves. Probably caught some people off guard. You just can't keep this market down at all. All right, let's go to Bitcoin, and we'll start with the market cap, with the cryptos. Still, this is the candle we talked about yesterday. We kind of had a later start after the close, so it's the same one. Nothing, exact same crap, just floating right on that trend line. So we're just going to skip over that because there's nothing new on it. Bitcoin attempting to do some good action here, finding support on all of these moving averages that are stacked super tight on each other right here. I mean, this is only about a $300 stack here, less than 1%. So lots of support looks like has been manufactured around this area. Still, the more critical area, in my opinion, is going to be this 32.7-ish, this horizontal that we've had drawn on here for a hot minute. But we are riding up the mama, as we spoke about a few days ago, or yesterday, sorry, that this happens a lot with that indicator, and especially since it's projected offset into the future. But yeah, we got that going. It's looking, it looks okay. I don't like we just keep getting rejected from these damn pumps. You can see on the lower time frames. And we got this one here earlier in the wee morning hours at 3 a.m. almost getting above this trend line, but immediately just gave it all up and kind of back where we just started in this consolidation around 33,000 handle. So, let me change. Actually, no, my computer can handle it. We don't have to go to performance mode. I'm referencing OBS. Sometimes it helps if I get like drop frames to do that. But anyway, back to some charts. I digress. Looking all right here. I do like this candle after this attempt by the bears to push down on really the crack time frames. I'm on a 7-minute. You can see that in the background here, or up here too in this area if you're curious, and I don't mention it. But lots of support though. Coinciding with that newly manufactured kind of support level around that 33.5 area. So as long as we're above that, looks pretty decent. But still, I wouldn't even care if bodies closed below that. I'm really looking to get more bearish close below this trend line, or not trend line, this horizontal here. So if that can happen, then I would definitely be a little bit skeptical of this rally, but it just keeps getting freaking rejected. Like we were just zoomed in on this little run. So that kind of sucked. I got up real early today and saw that it was up here and was like, oh, that should be great. And then it just rolled back over. Also was like, damn it. But hey, what are you going to do? I did take off that little long that I did. Let me change something real quick on the chart because I don't want you to see my main account right now. I'm not ready for that. So I'm just switched it to paper trading real quick. Yeah, we just switched it over, and I was just buying a little bit of a dip off that horizontal and just kind of playing around. So you can see I did close that out earlier on one of the runs at about 33.9. So I just didn't, after I saw that, it was earlier right here. I did, because after I saw this rejection and kind of waited to see what happened until the regular markets opened up, and then it did this and kind of found some more resistance, which is around this big wick. I was just like, oh, we'll just wait. And if we consolidate here more, I might put on some more longs. But right now, it looks all right to me. As long as we're holding this area, kind of just so confusing. I mean, everybody is super frustrated with this. DMI is flat as shit. RSI is flat as shit. I mean, everything is just going sideways at this point. But we are still macro bullish, so you do have to lean to the upside on this guy. But any kind of candle close below this line again, and most definitely below this 32K, and I'd start to get a little concerned. But as you can see, the 377 is rising. The 200 is actually starting to be like the trend line, so we're getting major squeeze squeeze momentum. Is that a thing? I don't think so. We're getting major squeeze time into this zone and this kind of triangle that's being formed with the 377. And as we spoke yesterday, resolution on this formation should be popping off here this week, I would guess. Man, markets are relentless off this bottom. We'll get to those here in a second. Futures, kind of same thing, just hanging out right above the 200. Not as much tightness on the EMAs, but they do look a little bit better than spot, but still nothing too crazy, super neutral. I mean, we really just have to get out of this damn range. And I mean, the range is kind of big. It's like 31,000 to like 48 or 38,000. No, we haven't got to 48. Not yet. But yeah, it's pretty much damn 31, 38. I mean, until we get out of that, at least probably on a daily, we're not going to get much change, especially when we're getting these big wicks and tails on both sides. So Ethereum still is exact same damn structure, just super flat sideways, just more consolidation. Can't get more consolidated than this. 3 hour is trying to regain the exponentials on RSI, but unable to do so far. Pretty neutral also on DMI. So again, they're all, like most time frames, are agreeing with each other below like a 3-day. Yeah, below like a 3-day, they're pretty much all just super flat and not giving you any real edge at the moment. So we kind of just have to wait and for that range to break to give us a little bit more clues. Litecoin, what do we got? Litecoin, I haven't looked at Litecoin today. Finding support on the 55. Any close again below this probably is going to be real ugly. This is definitely the ugliest of the majors. You have this trend line kind of popping off right here. Oh gosh, dang it. Didn't mean to open that. Need to move this up a little bit so I don't do that again. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much riding this trend line. So Litecoin kind of sucks. You do have the exponential, the RSI taking over on the exponentials, but it is sub 50, so that's not super sexy. Just again, defaulting to the horizontals right now is going to be the best way to play this, in my opinion. We do have maybe, let's look at a 4 hour. Nah, if this does rally up here soon, like in the next day, there is kind of a sloppy-ish inverted head and shoulders a little bit. That might be kind of pushing it, but the formation isn't complete yet. So, but volatility does seem to be creeping back in. You can see up here, we talked about that yesterday. We got a 0 read and a little pump dump right back into the damn range. I mean, this is just ridiculous. What's up, buddy? What's up, Scott? Right back in the stupid range. So, I mean, it's just the same crap for the last week, really. XRP, this was crazy. I didn't even see this today till right before I started the stream. I was just fanning through a couple things, and I was like, holy shit. Ripple literally hit 75 cents in the wee hours of the morning. Just, I mean, incredible move on that biatch. Look at this. Pretty ugly, though, rejection from that, to be super fair. I mean, look at this. It's already down 50% from that attempted rally. But, hey, I guess it looks all right as long as it's holding above these this 35 cent area. And I think yesterday we were talking about like 38 cents. So you can see it kind of got bid up so far from getting pushed down into there. But yeah, that's pretty crazy ass move for Ripple. I'm not doing anything with this one. Need a little bit more time on this to get a better read. Bulls are in control though on the DMI, to be fair. So again, the horizontals are kind of your friend right now in most of these coins and assets. So above 35-ish cents, and it still looks pretty damn good. You get a couple more days of holding up here above that 35 cent level, you're going to get all the EMAs starting to point up and open upwards, which that might set up for a real good move on the rips. But man, look at this damn shit on a weekly. This is mean. You got to have strong hands for this guy. On the weekly, though, to be fair, you did have an attempt by the Bears to get into control, but the Bulls rejected it. So actually on the weekly, this does look pretty good. So yeah, I like that. And you do have all of them opened up. Kind of flat though. It's kind of a little weird and sloppy, but it is there. And you got the 200 weekly MA populating right about that level we've talked about, 35. It's actually at 38 cents. So mid 30s on this looks pretty good for Ripple. Not too shabby. Yeah, we'll look at Grayscale scam ETF here in a second. I don't think it is an ETF, is it? I don't know. Oh, look at DOT. Same crap, same range, same shit, different day. Nothing to talk about here. If you can't see this range here, I'm not sure anyone will be able to help you. ADA bouncing nicely. Wow, ADA, what the hell? Cardano. Yeah, it's looking better than freaking Ethereum. Same type pattern. Sloppy ascending triangle making higher lows. We get a higher high on this structure though, like on a daily close above 40 cents would be real sexy on ADA. Mr. Charles over here is taking unicorn shirt man to the oh gosh, wait, I'm gonna stop myself there. That might be that might be a little too much. Mr. Unicorn shirt wearing man. He always be wearing crazy ass shit. But wow, ADA showing some relative strength today. Pretty nice. If this gets some continuation, you got all the EMAs starting to curl up. They're not in chronological order yet because the cyan's in between them. So that's like the worst part. But hey, that'll change very soon. That'll be about less than a day as long as we stay above 36 cents or 35 cents. So it looks pretty good. Way to go, ADA. Weekly is, I don't like the weekly is freaking scary, but that's kind of everything right now. Every market, the weekly chart's kind of scary. Link, similar type pattern, higher highs, higher lows, still in an uptrend. Can't get too crazy with this unless it lost this local low here at about 20, 21 bucks. So that's pretty easy peasy. I'd be looking for a continuation until that happens. Bitcoin Cash, another rejection. Look at this. Booty. Come on, Roger. What is this shit? You can do better than this. To be fair, it did make a closing high, though. It did make a higher high from this structure over here. So that's the best thing, but it did give it up with an engulfing. Haven't made the lower low yet. We'll have to just see. Again, all these things are just getting rejected back into the sideways ranges. It is very frustrating for traders right now, for sure. And there's not cool products on here to take advantage, like options and other things to take advantage of neutral strategies. So it makes it even more frustrating. I mean, I guess you do have Bitcoin options in some areas. I think LedgerX has them for U.S. customers, but the spreads on them are terrible. They're like 10%. So yeah, screw that crap. In the Doge, oh, you know we go into Doge. That's in my list over here. See, we always are going to look at the Doji. It looks like I got a little monkey hammered here recently. We're about to come up on it, though. Oh, right. Here's the real Satoshi. See what he's doing. Opening up, this is a good catch, even though the candle's really ugly, engulfing the previous ones. It stopped right on top of all the MAs. Of course, again, oh, shocker, getting rejected, going back into the middle of the range. We haven't seen that before. Daily, daily is not my favorite. The best thing on the daily is probably the DMI coming up and the bears getting rejected. So if DMI can get back up above the threshold here around 26, really above like these previous highs, that would be really good for BSV. And it has the potential to do it. It pretty much is going to need to do it like within this week, or I think it's going to get real ugly. But that's kind of across the market, it looks like, though, too. That's not unique to BSV, across the crypto sector, that is. Oh, look at this. I like this action here from last night. So we were talking about it yesterday, and now the EMAs have opened up, and we're getting almost all of them above the mama, which will happen here in the next few candles if we just stay here. But we do have pretty strong overhead resistance right here at 150. But this is setting up for a good retest of that zone for sure. DMI doesn't look great on the daily, though. But the RSI is regaining the exponential here, and that'll probably regain it with as long as we stay above about like 139, 140. So that's something to kind of keep an eye on if this keeps building out. One thing that is a little different is this didn't engulf like the previous few candles like the other charts have been showing. It's kind of stopping. It is on the top of the range too, so that's a little bit better. Maybe Monero's giving us a little bit of clues there. ZEC, right in the middle of the 200, 377, same shit, more ranging. Blah, pretty boring. Yeah, this sucks. I mean, both of the bears and the bulls are down here in the weak, shitty zone. So, yeah, this is kind of sloppy. Maybe the 3 hour will give us some clues if it can build out and get these EMAs opening up here in the next day or so. Then that would start looking pretty good. But, yeah, not really that great of a chart. Too boring. Let's move on from that. Dash, kind of the same thing. ZEC. Yeah, I like it. I don't like it even as much. We do have volatility flashing up here as 0. So it can pretty much only expand from 0. It can still go sideways, but the last time we saw that, let's go see, is way back over here. Look at that, see? Went more sideways. I guess it did have a little bit of a pump and dump, but ultimately stayed in the range. And again, HVP doesn't give you any kind of directional bias. It's just saying that volatility is super low, which obviously, I mean, look at this crap. What the hell? Boring. Don't even want to look at it anymore. Doge, giving it up. This candle closes an hour and a half. All right. Although horizontal support is real strong in the 90s and around 100 Satoshis, I don't want to see it close back below this structure on the cyan. This is not great. That's not what you want to see. The last time that happened was this, which pretty much pushed it all the way down to 65. That's a big dump. It was about a 50% dump. But ultimately, as long as it stays above 100, it's okay. But if this closes down here, nah, I don't really like that for Doge. It would have been nicer to kind of stay above this and start squeezing up into the resistance here. So probably a little bit of caution on Doge is warranted. The bears are in the weak forgotten zone, though. They're not even in the weak zone. They're sub 10. So maybe this is just a giant liquidation kind of chill break. Weekly doesn't show you shit. So yeah, just default to make it easy about 90 sats, 90 to 100. But we lose 90 sats again. This is going to get real ugly on Dogecoin. Stupid GME. Hey, don't mention that in here. What are you doing? All right, let's see. What is DMI equals daily momentum index? That's nope, that's not what it means. It's directional movement index, actually. I guess you're not too far off, but yeah, directional movement index. What's up, Josh? Yeah, we'll get to those here in a second after we go through the. I guess we can squeeze them in right here, maybe for ES. Yeah, because we're almost done with. No, we just did finish the cryptos. All right, so we'll do that. We'll go to ETH first, though, for Mr. Scott. All right, ETH, the best products ever from a guy that's never scammed anyone before. Novagrats. This actually kind of looks pretty good, though, on the weekly. I do like these opening up. Here, if it just stays above like 1250, then the 55 will get over the mama, too. And you've got some... Well, let's zoom in here. Where are we at? This is a crazy looking RSI. What the shit? I guess because when it's not that... Nah, there's not that much data. Okay. But yeah, consolidating right here. This is not a terrible chart on the weekly. Let's go to daily. Daily, oh shocker, another super neutral one. But yeah, as long as this is holding like $12, this looks okay. And the weekly, I do like how the weekly is setting up here. It looks pretty nice on the weekly, to be fair. And let's go look at Ethereum real quick. Yeah, I mean, in Ethereum, as we looked earlier, you know, has like this pattern of just kind of squeezing up, making higher highs and equal to higher. I'm sorry, higher lows and making equal to higher highs. So kind of ascending triangle action. Yeah, any close above 1400 on a daily, this bitch is probably going to run pretty hard. And it looks like ETH. Oops, I'm just like default put in USD at the end. And it looks like ETH is kind of agreeing with that. So that's good for Confluence. So not a terrible chart. Not too shabby there, Scott. You're welcome, sir. All right, NMC. Oops, that's probably crypto. Is that Namecoin or something? Oh, I don't see that one. I don't see NMC there, sir. Unless you're talking about this. You're probably talking about crypto, though, so I don't know. Maybe write that in there if that's not what you're talking about. We'll skip to FTC. You talking about Factum? Man, can you even trade Factum anywhere? Oh, no, that's a Feathercoin. Holy shit. You're bringing it back, boy. Man, I haven't heard this one in a long time. Like Redcoin we talked about a couple days ago. Hadn't heard of that in a long time either. This is a really nice looking chart, actually. Feathercoin, but it looked like it was only in USD pairs, though. Oh, here's one. Okay. Only on Bittrex. I'm not sure if you can still trade that. But yeah, this is actually looking pretty damn good. How hilarious. Damn, this is up a lot, though, already. 200% just in the last couple months. But this is a great consolidation pattern, though, up at the highs of this pump. Pretty much I don't have any issues with this as long as we're staying above, what, like 175? Yeah, about 175 above this local high. And ultimately about here, like 1.5 pennies would be definitely the stopping point if I was in this. Let's look at a 3 hour. Kind of sloppy on the 3 hour. Probably just default to daily on this guy. Let's go over here. Bam, bam. Just putting in my horizontals. Coming right up to the power zone and the bulls. But it does look pretty good. Nice looking chart there. So as long as it's above that 0.017, get it in. Raven coin. Let's go to the Raven. I think we looked at this the other day, didn't we, Josh? Yeah, we did, but it already did this pop, I believe, when we spoke about it. So just consolidating at the highs, that's good. That is what you want to see for continuation. And there's some decent volume on this guy, too. Looks like on Binance, the most volume ever. Let's see if maybe there's a different one on Bittrex that has more data. Nah, about the same. So that's got pretty much the most volume on Raven coin that it's had. Is there one more? No, we're not even going to go to hit BTC, that garbage ass exchange. All right, let's see. Yeah, daily though looks nice. Starting to get all the EMAs opening up. If this thing consolidates, man, it's kind of weird. It's like in the same area as Feathercoin at 0.018. I like it. Looks really good. Especially another few days up here. All the EMAs will be in order and pointing to the upside. Pretty damn sexy. Major support around 2 cents, just between 0.18 and about 2 cents. So that's pretty good for some long action. Yeah, this is a good chart, man. Weekly still got some work to do to stay sexy, but hey, it's cruising on in. Let's see, EMC squared, Einsteinium. Is that really only on? Damn, Bittrex. Yeah, you're just pulling out all the old schools. Oh, it already is popping hard today. Let's see here. Kind of sloppy on the 3 hour. Looks like we got to just look at this one on the daily. Yeah, looks pretty good. I don't know. It's really low, though. I mean, this is... Holy crap, dude. This is even on the log chart, and look at it. That's pretty rare. What is this pump right here? 2,000%. Oh, you know, just a regular 2,000% pump. It is pretty much on, like, the lows, though. Pretty much ever around, like, the 150 sat area. So, I mean, that looks pretty good. It really needs to regain this local high, though, here, and coincides with this low. So if it doesn't really do that, this is not really too exciting. But it's starting to look okay. Let's look at it on the dollar pair. Maybe that'll give us a little bit better idea. Yeah, pretty sloppy-ass chart. The weekly looks okay, though. I will say that. Weekly looks nice as long as we're holding about 6 cents. You got the EMAs opening up. Major resistance, though, at major resistance at 13 cents. And you can see that getting all these wicks on these candles here. So anything above 13 cents, this bitch could easily fly up into right around this zone at about 25 cents. So let's see what a 618 retracement is from this guy. It's 45 cents, so a little bit higher. But yeah, this is looking all right as long as it stays above about 6 cents. If you want to get real loose with it, 5 cents. But let's go zoom in just a tad. Yeah, oh, this looks really good on the 3 hour. I love this setup. Very sexy. And anything... So if you want to be more conservative, anything above like 7 cents, and if price action loses the 21 exponential on this 3 hour time frame, I would start to be a little bit concerned. But other than that, pretty nice. Einsteinium. You're always bringing out the old schools. Love it. Oh, NAV. All right. Good old NAV coin. Let's see. Daily looks good. Daily's actually looked good for a hot minute. On this consolidation, it looked okay, and then ultimately right around here started looking real good when you get that opening up, and then you're getting all the exponentials pointing up as well. Daily looks pretty sexy. Let's zoom out a little bit. Oh yeah, that's a nice basing pattern. I like that little spring here from the accumulation from the last year. Oh shit, even longer. This is like 2 years. Holy crap. Wow, yeah, so this actually looks really good above 18 cents. Weekly, we still got the week to close. And did this one technically? Yeah, real close. It did technically close opening up, but this week is setting up real nice. It would have to do a big ass dump for this to get to reverse, probably below like 16 cents. But yeah, this is a pretty good looking chart, man. I don't hate that at all. Any close below the daily 55 EMA on this? Because there's a lot of shadows and wicks on this, real big ones. I mean, some of these are freaking, oh wow, 50%. Holy shit. On the ups, that's kind of crazy. So sellers are slamming this down on any attempted rally, but you can see they're exhausting. They're getting exhausted. So if sellers get exhausted some more and clear out this 26 level, even on a daily, would probably do it. Oh, which we actually just did. So yeah, wow, this looks pretty damn good, man. As long as we hold this 20 cents, that looks very much intact. And ultimately, any daily close back below the 55 exponential, and which is this orange one here. And I would be pretty concerned with that. But yeah, outside of that, man, nice looking chart for sure. Alrighty, Firo. Never even heard of this one. It's traded in quite a few places. Let's go to... Oh, actually, for NAV, let's look at NAV versus Bitcoin real fast. Badow. All right, yep, gaining against it a little bit. Don't like this little doji on the weekly, but hey, that's okay. Daily looks pretty damn good, though. Major resistance right where these wicks are. No shocker there. Getting close above 1,000 sats on BTC. It would be nice confluence with that dollar chart. Would be very sexy. All right, back to Firo. Chipadow. Oh, crap. What is this? Is that really... Hold on, let's pick up a different one. All right, there we go. Always default to Bittrex for history, right? Oh, damn, Firo's an old-ass coin. I don't even remember this one. Let's see here. Let me just kind of check it out. Obviously, you can see some major resistance printed up here at 13 bucks, which coincides very nicely with this local high. And a lot of this business here and the resistance before the ultimate super pump and dump. But not great on the weekly. Very confusing on the daily even. It's trying to get going, but I mean, yeah, this is a tough range here. It's kind of actually reminiscent of the other markets right now, the larger participants that have been around too, like the Ethereum, Bitcoin charts that we were looking at. But any daily close back above all of these wicks and ultimately this candle here, about $5, I would look for some continuation to maybe at least test back up into this doji candle somewhere. This little spinny top one, which has a really large range, to be fair. Dang, like all the way from 530 to about 830. So yeah, if we get a close above $5 on the daily, maybe even 460 might do it. I wouldn't be surprised to see it touch back in there, but the sellers are definitely slapping this shit down on any attempted rally up into that zone. So definitely not as good as the other looking charts, that's for sure. Alrighty, let's see. Let's get back on to the ES. Oh my god, what is this? I have too many damn drawings sometimes. Coming right up into this trend line. We'll wonder if we'll get some rejection action here. Because we have been respecting it since the 26th, and we are making lower highs, lower lows. We might make a super intermediate higher high. Nah, maybe. We just have to wait. We only got 16 minutes left. Oh, crap. What? Oh, yeah, okay. Because that's the 3 hour. I was like, wait, it's not almost 3 already, is it? Shit. This is a real strong candle, though, to be fair, off these lows. You can see it went right to our damn target here at the devil's base. It touched the devil's base and said, nope, we're not going to stay down there. The one thing that is interesting about this is DMI is still staying way up here. And the bulls are like, I mean, they're really low for this kind of rally. That is kind of surprising. Even in this whole rally, look at this. This is super crazy. The bears are maintaining their dominance on a 3 hour time frame throughout this whole pump. That is very interesting. Makes me kind of want to short into this trend line a little bit. Give me a second real fast. I'm going to go over here and look at something. Bear with me. I just want to see what kind of the market's playing for Feb options. Because that is very interesting. 76. Might do some 30 delta. Yeah, I'm going to work an order over here real quick. I'm just looking at some put spreads on SPY right now just to get some short exposure on this. Because that is really odd. This is easy to manage risk to. Anything above this for me. I mean, ultimately, if you wanted to get real crazy, I'm not going to do 35 points. I'm not going straight static, though, either. That's why using options is a little bit preferred in this area. It gives me a little bit of breathing room. Yeah, we'll see if I can get filled right here. All right, so that's working. All right, back over here. Yeah, wow, that is just crazy. I'm going to scroll back here in time for a second and see if that's happened before. Yeah, see, even in this rally, I guess it's kind of similar-ish in this rally. Let me see. But it's staying above it, so I guess it did stay above it until right here at the 55 exponential. All right, so that does have a little bit of confluence there, or I guess a comparison. And it did it here too. Different structure on the EMAs though. And it did it here as well. Huh, yeah, that is very odd. I'm just going to try to take a stab at that and see what happens. But ultimately though, this isn't the best type of short to take though, because of this candle is pretty mean. I mean, it's kind of engulfing this whole sell-off from Friday. Let's go to the weekly. All right, but yeah, this is just kind of odd, and like I said earlier, easy to manage risk. Any kind of 3-hour candle that closes back up over this guy, for me, that'll negate that trade with a swiftness. You did see this hammer candle right off the devil's numbers here. It gets a devil reject action. And just rallying really hard. That is a fucking hell of a move. What is this? About 3% just today. We're getting these kind of violent sort of bear type rallies though, which is kind of odd. I don't want to be biased. Like obviously the trend is to the upside right now. When you're like looking at a weekly. Here, let me clean this up a little bit. When you're looking at a weekly, but the momentum has been lost on the RSI. So we'll see if we can regain this week. But yeah, that is a super swift reaction from that low. I have to mull on that a little bit more. Let's see what other stuff is telling us. All right, NASDAQ pumping it up past the 55. I guess if you draw a similar trend line on NASDAQ right around here, it's actually already blown through it, so that's interesting. Showing some relative strength. Bouncing right off of the 377 3-hour. How about the daily? Right around where the 55 is, so pretty nice looking candle. This actually looks better because it's back above the 21 exponential and shit, almost back above the 10. So just for comparison, we're kind of struggling right now on the 21 alone on ES. NASDAQ is showing a lot of relative strength here, getting over almost all of them. If this closes up on the upper end of the candles, what do we got, about an hour left today? If this ends up closing on the top end of this range, that's going to look real sexy. Ultimately, we do have that resistance pivot point here at like 13.3, so we wouldn't be surprised if it kind of stalls here for a second. But yeah, wow, that candle looks really good though for the daily. Very nice move. For NASDAQ. Not so much for the Dow. The Dow kind of looks shitty compared to the other ones. Wow, everything is just kind of across the board. Way far away from the 21. Did have the hammer, kind of weak-ass rally, though. Barely can even get over the 21 on a 3-hour. Lots of resistance here on the Dow. Hold on, let me see if that's the same. Yeah, see, so we're kind of sandwiched in between them like we are on a lot of the cryptos. On ES, yeah, everything's a little bit different right now for correlations on the market. Dow looks really weak, though. That is not sexy price action. Doesn't have the same kind of trend line, though. We got it. It's a little bit higher. It's got a lot of work to do to get up there. We'll see if it plays catch up. Maybe it will. But yeah, pretty pretty weak. Russell just ripping everybody's face off. It's literally up almost 100 freaking points, dude. Look at this. Almost 4.5% just today from the lows. And I know that's not going to show that like on a daily because it's not going to take it from that wick low down there. See, it's only going to show up if you look right there. It'll show 2.4%. And so, but really it's like 4.5% off this damn sell-off. Look where this damn shit came up and closed. Right above the horizontal level at 2060 that we've been watching for freaking way too damn long. Went right below it, fake out, came and closed right above it, accepted, and just mooned from there. Just pretty beautiful move for TA action on that. Looks like we got pretty good resistance here at 2130 though is the next stop. And again, we are below the RSI. I mean, we've been below it. We are below the exponentials on RSI. We have been below it since back over here on the 25th or so. So it actually started getting weak and losing momentum right with this spinning top doji, which is pretty interesting. So that one is kind of giving us a little bit of continuation to the downside. I don't know the last time we actually had 4 down days in a row on this. Let's go back and look. Here's one 4 times back in October. So it's been since October since we had 4 daily candles in a row to the downside on RUT, which did end up having a little pump on it right to about the 10 simple and then rolled over again. Let's see if there's 4 more. Nope. Not for a while. I mean, I'm going all the way back. Probably Corona. There's definitely one here in the Corona crash. Yeah, but shit, only been one other time, and that did end up preceding a 6% move to the downside at that point. So, interesting. Wonder if we're kind of posturing up to do something similar, because this is a hell of a move off of this. And if we are switching into a bearish regime for markets here, these are the kind of rallies that you'll see when it gets dumped. They just start ripping your damn face off. So, very interesting. Getting caught by the 10. Simple, though, right there at that low. I mean, almost on the dot at 2028-ish. So, let's just see what happens. We did engulf the prior two weeks. Mama's got resistance on the low time frames, too. Yeah, today's close is going to be pretty important for traditional markets. VIX getting monkey hammered, although not too terribly considering how much the market's rallying. DMI is still dominant. RSI pretty dominant as well on the daily. Let's go to a weekly chart. Big old weekly girthy candle there, right to the mama. You can see VIX respects mama a lot. Don't disrespect your mama, boy. Scott, yeah, we'll be doing precious metals here in a second. They're coming up on the list because I do want to talk about platinum today. VIX, this is pretty interesting. If we keep holding like 26-ish, I mean, we're getting the EMAs opening up on this guy. I mean, yeah, if we hold 26 on VIX on the daily, there's probably another move around the corner. I guess the worst part is VVIX. We talk about this a lot. The threshold where this orange line is around 140. Tried to get above it, did close it Friday below it, and we're getting a little bit rejected, but it's also kind of showing the same posturing as VIX indexes, the cash index, so lots of support here in the 120 area on that. So, all right, let's go to Shanghai. What are the Chinese doing? Oh, bouncing off this trend line, very nice. That's sexy. That's what you want to see for continuation for the bulls. But neutral with bears attempting to gain dominance. And kind of in between the 21.55. So kind of range bound in here. So I thought this would rally a little bit more out of this formation. And see, this formation actually looks just like Ethereum's. So just for kind of an idea, if we like lose that structure, any kind of close below like these local lows, and that's the same for Ethereum, it's going to get real ugly and fast to the downside. This is a good example of that kind of structure. Dixie. Oh, look at that. Dixie rallying hard. This is what we kind of don't want to see for bullish action across the markets. That's not great for most things. Correlations do change a lot. We actually can go look at a dollar correlation real fast while I bring that up. Let me pull it up here. Dollar is on the bottom here. And so you can see Bitcoin on a 2-week correlation is negatively correlated very strongly by a factor of 0.8 and change. So that's very inversely correlated. Even if we zoom down to a weekly, it's actually worse at 0.9. On a daily, though, which correlations suck on a daily. I'm not even going to go there. Daily is way too damn small of a time frame. As you can see, why? Look at this. I mean, it's not going to really give you anything. It just gets real choppy. I think weekly is the lowest on correlations. Traditionally, like in markets, like equity markets, they use like the quarterlies. So since Bitcoin runs all day, every day, never stops, I kind of just cut that a lot in half. So, you know, it's a lot more operating hours. And so I do about 2 weeks is where I find that's a good metric. But yeah, you can see inversely correlated to the dollar. And you can see there's other pairs too. Losing its gold correlation. It was really correlated to gold up until the end of last year. All right, back to dollar. This is super strong move. We had kind of been watching and looking out for this yesterday in the video. We were talking about generally when you see price do this on MAs, on the trend lines that have been respected for years and years. I mean, this trend line's been respected since all the way back since Corona crash. And just for example, when dollar rallies really hard, you remember what happened in Corona crash, right? You can pretty much invert this for the almost anything that you held. It didn't matter what it was. King dollar, baby. So this is interesting. This is, I mean, if you're long dollar, that's great and awesome. But for the overall market, this is definitely noteworthy. And if we get this close up on the tops of these candles, I would be very cautious for that rally in equities. And I'd also be a little bit cautious of Bitcoin at first. Bitcoin can obviously defy its correlation, but right now with the data we have at hand, we kind of have to be a little bit cautious about that, and especially since we've been range bounding for, you know, a month or so. So do keep an eye on big boy King Dollar. It is showing some massive strength, which is probably smashing the euro out of its formation consolidation here. Yup. Still about the trend line, though. Lose this trend line, this thing's probably going to 118 pretty quickly. So do be careful of that if you are in euro action. TNX, kind of nothing burger there. Just staying around $1.08. This is the 10-year yield, treasury yield. So not really giving us any confluence. I'm kind of surprised this isn't rallying a little bit with the dollar. That's a little odd. Gold, Jesus. It's like Bitcoin. What the hell? Just super sideways. Just super boring. Blah. Don't like it. It's so annoying. It's like, do something. Just get out of the damn range. Come on. Just getting squished. You can see all the resistance right here at that 1870 level. And I guess the best thing about gold is that it is riding up this trend line that we've been talking about for a long time. So that's pretty nice. Any loss of this trend line, though, on a daily closure, I would start to get really concerned for gold. Especially if that coincides with the daily close below 1820. And then we probably go and test this horizontal down here. But conversely, on the flip side, for the upside, anything above 1875 on a daily, which we tried to do today, then this thing is probably going to run up to at least, well, let's see, on a weekly, probably 1900. I could see that easily happening. Let me go check my options real quick, see if I got filled on that short. What? That's not right. Oh, Oh, that's definitely not right because it's the wrong asset. I was looking at some other bullshit stock that I got put in. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna adjust that a little bit. Let that work. All right, so back to gold. This looks pretty good though on the lower time frames. I do like this setup. Very nice. We're finally getting out of the spaghetti string action. But again, just like we had it over here, opening to the downside, we had that major support kind of putting the pressure on. Looks like that was respected. And so now we're back on the flip side here a couple days later, and now we're opening to the upside, and you are having major pressure from the 200. We are over the 377, but it looks like this supply is attempting to get dried up, this overhead supply. Yeah, any close above that 1875 level on this 3 hour probably gets us to some new highs. So I do like that. I do like DMI too on this, so that looks pretty nice. Silver, everybody's favorite. Stupid Wall Street bets. Like they're gonna take over JP Morgan. What a joke. $30. Wow, hit 30.30. Look at that. Getting rejected though, so far. Still looks really good. And y'all know I've loved silver for a long time. Pretty much since I restarted doing these videos. I've just been talking about that all the time. Very nice consolidation breakout. I mean, this is pretty damn bullish. I mean, there's pretty much nothing bearish about this chart. I mean, you got DMI opening up, looking real strong. RSI looking really good. Let's go to a 2-day. 2-day is actually my favorite time frame for metals. Yeah, as long as silver stays above like $27, this looks really good. I mean, we're probably heading to mid-30s is what I'm guessing here. We'll lose 27 though. We're probably gonna go back into this lovely range, and it'll be boring as shit. Back to probably 25, but this looks like it's wanting to head to mid-30s, and ultimately, if it gets continuation, I mean, our target is up here in these horizontals between 38 and 44. So, man, that would be crazy. And all-time high in silver, if you don't know, is about $50, set back in 2011. And just for some food or some interesting information for myself, when I first started trading was back actually in 2011. And as the great astute trader I was then, I literally bought silver in the summer right here. Right here. Genius, right? Yeah. Hey, you know, live and learn, right? The market will humble you, or you'll quit. I didn't know anything about fibs or nothing, none of that, pretty much anything. I was just like, oh shit, yeah, man, silver. I'm all in, bro. I got this. Yeah, that is true. EU isn't even a country. Yeah, I mean, like, I got this, and immediately just, bam. In 1 week, it was down almost 30%. That was pretty brutal. And then it just kept going down forever. I was like, oh, don't sell it. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. Fuck. It'll be okay. It's going... Fuck. I mean, it was brutal, man. I kind of just forgot about it and was like, yeah, whatever. Opportunity cost, y'all. That's a lesson there for that. That's important. Don't stay in bad trades. When price tells you you're wrong, get the shit out. Get out. Don't hold on to that shit. Hope is not a way to make money trading. I don't care what anybody says. It don't work. If they say that, they probably haven't been trading long enough. All right. Platinum. Platinum is starting to shape up very nicely. I love this chart on a weekly. This is very sexy action. And the fact that also platinum, we're going to pull up a little bit of chow real quick for historical context. We're going to pull up, we don't need any indicators for that, the platinum gold ratio, as you can see here, goes all the way back to the 80s when the futures came out. This is the midline at $1 here. Almost always platinum has been worth more than gold. It's way more rare. it's used in similar fashions, electronics, not as much as gold, but jewelry. Gold and platinum are mainly used in jewelry because I think they're kind of regarded as stores of wealth. There's been like payments and stuff over history that ships will be filled with platinum to pay off different countries and stuff, and gold. So they're kind of synonymous in that respect. And as you can see, it's usually above there. But right here, I made this, initially I did this chart and made this note a couple years ago. It's like the lowest in history. It was like, oh my God. But it ended up going down another 40% to 0.4, which is unheard of. And I was talking to a buddy of mine earlier this morning, and everyone doesn't like platinum because they think that every damn new car in the future is going to be an electric vehicle with a battery. And you can see when that really started pumping in 2014, renewable energy crap, oil getting smashed. That was when oil and energy just started really getting monkey hammered. All the fracking stuff started breaking apart. And EVs were going to pretty much there were so many things. People were like, oh, EVs will be... what was it? They were like, EVs are going to pretty much be every single car in the next 5 years, which is a big fat joke. Obviously, that didn't happen. 5 years later, here we are. Anyway, the point is, this is when it was really getting pumped. We won't need platinum anymore. We won't need platinum anymore because of EVs and catalytic converters, blah, blah, blah. And so it's just getting absolutely destroyed. But now, after all that hype is kind of wearing off, maybe the market's realizing, oh, batteries aren't going to replace most semi-trucks or boats or equipment, heavy machinery, and all this stuff. I mean, you can't put... can you imagine a battery powering like a gigantic Caterpillar? I don't know what's a name for one of these guys. I'm lost for my words. Like a backhoe or something like that. Like how much weight it would have to have on it. And just the energy exerted from that. I mean, it's just, I don't even think that that's even in the ballpark. Or let alone a ship. What, are you going to have like 10,000 pounds of battery on there? That just seems really crazy to me. So I think maybe the market's kind of like, oh, this is a little bit overdone. And so now we're starting to get some real good love on the platinum. I mean, you got this super dump. I mean, it went to $500. I can't believe that I didn't see this. This is absolute insanity. $500 platinum in 2020. I mean, who would have ever thought that? Last time you saw that was all the way back 20 freaking years ago. But I do really like this chart. Even on a monthly, looks nice. Does have overhead resistance at about 1200, but anything over that, it's going to start mooning it up. Weekly chart is probably the best looking chart right now. Anything staying up above 1,000, I really do like Platinum's chart here. And I think it was just overdone, like with the whole Tesla EV stuff, like I just explained. That's just kind of my opinion on it and analysis on it. But you can even see on a just basic trend line formation action, we are on the precipice of breaking out of this. So this is a really important pivot zone for Platinum. And this is definitely a good consolidation with a little spring action, faking everybody out to the downside, get all these people piling in shorts, rip their face off, create some liquidity, and here we are moving to the upside. So Platinum, loving it. Palladium, getting that follow through that we were talking about with this rounded formation. This is never good on any asset. You do not ever want to see that. And so we're getting some push through and follow through with that sell off. It is kind of catching the lows here, so could easily rally from here a little bit. But as long as this kind of keeps this little curve going, doesn't really look very sexy. And it got really ahead of itself. I mean, look at this Palladium. I mean, it's been up. It was $500 too, like Platinum. It's only up 360%. A lot of this was because of Russia. Didn't want to do deals with us back in 2017. They announced they were cutting off. And they're like 70% of the palladium market. So, and I think North Korea actually has a big palladium market too. So, you know how we're best friends with both those guys. All right, precious metals. So there you go, Scott. Wrap that up for you. And platinum, pretty... Again, I just really like the platinum setup here. Oh, and back to that chart real quick. Hold on, I forgot to mention this. GC. So parity at 1, at 1 is still way up here. I mean, we're at 0.6. So if this does want to get some legs, I mean, and get to close to parity with gold like it generally has been forever, I mean, I think this is a pretty safe bet that that's likely going to happen. I'm definitely going to bet on it. So I don't know shit though. Don't listen to me. It's not financial advice. Blah 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 blah. But yeah, 1-to-1. This would be a kind of. I'm thinking about maybe doing a pairs trade. I've been looking at the options market on the Palladium ETFs and GLD, and maybe trying to structure something there. And a pairs trade is where you long the weaker one and short the stronger one. So in this case, it'd be longing platinum and shorting gold. And I'm just hoping that this ratio tightens up and goes back to parity around 1. And if that happens, then that trade will make money. And it's a way to take out some of the risk, too, as well. So that's nice. Win Moon? Win Moon for what? For cryptos? Or what are you talking about? FC. Win Moon. All Moon. It's only Moon, bro. We only Moon. All right. Here it is. We're going to go just kind of look at stuff here. I'm probably just going to hang out and do some stuff on here. So if anyone wants to ask more questions or look up, I'll be here. Kind of just thinking about staying on a lot of times during the day, like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because as I said earlier, yesterday in the beginning of the stream, my son is starting his school daycare thing Monday, Wednesday, Fridays now, so I have a little bit more free time during the day, and I think that's what I'm going to kind of use most of that for those 3 days. Yeah, getting a little stalling right here at that trend line. Not a surprise. It's kind of what we were looking for here. I'm a little bit suspect of this rally, just the swiftness of it. I mean, this is a steep ass line. I mean, look at this. Chow. Well, maybe you can't if I can't draw here. I mean, look at that. That is steep as shit. So lots of confluence too for this time frame resistance here. And let's see. I did not hear my beep yet for getting filled on my put spread. They don't want to fill me. Man, the market makers, they're being Jews right now. Come on. Give me one. Oh, gosh. There it goes. All right. So I got a little small short on SPY there. We'll see what happens. I just did it with the option spread, a put spread. We'll see if that works. Let's go over here to GME just because. Why not? Careful. This isn't good. This is not looking sexy on GME. GME is showing distribution up here. You do not want your ass to get distributed on GME at $300 freaking dollars, okay? There's no way in shit on any planet that this company is worth this amount of money. It's just not. I challenge people, anybody, to make a better argument than that. Please email me, write a comment below, link it to a YouTube you have, whatever, something like that. But there's no way in shit that it's worth this much money. It's like saying Sears is worth $100 a share or something, and they're like literally about to go bankrupt. Be careful with this. This is starting to smell of distribution. Okay, so distribution means big people are starting to sell and dump on that ass, and we're losing some of the momentum here. You can see we've been neutral since this day with this big doji indecision candle, and price has been staying in it since that printed. So that is not very sexy. Any closure below the 21 EMA on this 3-hour time frame, I would watch the hell out. I would not be surprised if that happened, that we pretty much immediately go test the 55, which is about 38% away. I mean, and at some point, this is going to go back to reality and probably go back all the way into this range here, at least the top of it, about between 30 and 50 bucks. So I know that sounds unheard of. That'll never happen, blah, 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 whatever. But yeah, this is not what you want to see up here with the momentum losing. And you can also use some of this down below with the DMI. Good old trusty DMI. Probably one of my favorite indicators. You can see if this flips at any point and the bears get back up in here, that is definitely going to confirm this is being distribution. So just be careful with this shit, because this is hyped up stuff like this doesn't last that long. All right, I got filled on that. Oh, look at Bitcoin hitting up on that. Oh, look, this is a good pattern. Low time frames. I know I'm on crack time frames now. I'm on the 7-minute. But this is looking pretty good. I do like that. This kind of looks like it wants to stab back up here to 34.2 or so. Let's go to the 3-hour. Wake up, other computer. Yeah, I mean, with all this stack support like we talked about earlier today, I mean, this is starting to shape up to be all right. All right, all right. Can't hate that. PLL. All right, Scott, we'll go we'll go take a gander at that. Oh, man. Yeah, wow. Man, anything above this trend line again, I would not be surprised to see continuation on this biatch. Ultimately, we do need that daily close, though, above this horizontal at 37.5. PLL. Ciao. Piedmont Lithium. Oh, Jesus. Great consolidation after this super pump on, looks like, good earnings. Actually, it pumped 2 days before earnings. I guess somebody knew something, huh? But that would never happen in the super fair markets. No one gets insider information. Except for Congress and members of the government. It's actually legal for them to do that too, by the way, which you'd think would be a massive conflict of interest. But hey, they get to make their own rules. It's all good. Yeah, but consolidating at these highs, nice run. We are losing momentum on the daily on RSI. Let me throw up these horizontals. I wish these could just be automatically populated on here, but whatever. It doesn't take that long to do it. Wow, this is super up here. This thing got to 90 at one point. Was this pump? Yeah, wow. I mean, shit, to be fair, what was that? 236% in a day. Shit ton of volume. And then no volume after that. That is kind of odd. That's probably a little bit concerning that there's not much participation after this pump. Bears are trying to regain and get back into not the forgotten zone. So they're trying to just get in the weak zone now. They're trying to upgrade. Well, this could be a little reset. This could just be liquidation. If bears can't get up here and push the bulls out of the power zone, then yeah, this could still have some follow through. But I don't really like that there's not much volume on it. But, you know, volume isn't everything. I know a lot of people are super into volume. I like volume on, like, capitulation is where I really like to see that. Like on downside super sell-offs. And also on breakouts. So, you know, to be fair, like when you get this big breakout on lots of volume and then it just sustains for a little bit, that's the other part where it's good. But right here, this looks okay. I mean, but if it loses $47, I would be very, very cautious on this guy. I would be very, very cautious. It's a U.S. pure play lithium extractor, huh? Okay. I guess they're just mining out lithium. I don't know a lot about all that stuff. I don't really look at fundamental things that much anymore. As I've traded more, I just feel like all that shit's already just baked into the price anyway. I know that's not a very popular theory. A lot of people separate technical analysis and fundamentals for some reason. I don't really understand that because it's price action. I mean, this price is showing pretty much all of that. There's not like, unless you're an insider or some shit, like however this happened right here. I know lithium's a really hot stock though. Yeah, because even on the daily, this started getting pretty nice in this structure, and definitely on this candle. It was like, oh shit, let's get it in. Closing up above all these highs. Now, is it super hard to buy on a 32% breakout? Abso-freaking-lutely. But it did look really nice. Highest highs since all the way back in to 2019, pretty much. But yeah, separating the fundamentals and TA, I think is, I don't know, I think that's kind of dumb. But hey, what do I know? Lithium miners. Let's see what Hershey's is doing. We haven't looked at Hershey's in a while. I like to call this a smart money indicator. And if you're wondering why, Hershey's is just, they have a trust, and they have never sold out, even though so many people, as you can imagine, have tried to buy Hershey's. But the trust that owns the majority of the shares just will never sell it. They're like, nah, we know what we got. We don't got to change it. We got chocolate, some milk, some sugar. Everybody loves us. Our branding's amazing. I mean, you can see, look at monthly Hershey's chart. Look at this shit. Let's just turn off everything. I mean, look at that. It's like damn near. The worst part is like back here in the 70s, which, yeah, that was a crazy time there. It dumped about 60%. But after that, I mean, Hershey's almost like never goes down. 87 crash, it got monkey hammered a little bit, but only 24% even in the 87 crash. So, yeah, you can see even back here in 98, and the currency crash went down to, what is that? Oh, 36 to 21. So what is that, like 40%? And what's funny too is it started getting weak. Look at this. It started getting weak. This is actually funny for the reasons why I think it's a smarter money indicator. They're real conservative. And you can see that like this started rolling over while the rest of the market just started pumping its ass off, right? So people were like, oh shit, leave super awesome Hershey's that almost never goes down. And they were probably buying like pets.com and shit, right? Taking money out of something that's super solid and almost like a cash equivalent that pays a better yield than any kind of CD or anything you're going to get. And it actually bottomed. It bottomed out right when the market started rolling over. Is that not hilarious? Sells off first, a year, well over a year before the markets roll over, and literally bottoms as the top. Let me just show you because I'm trying to explain it and it's not working that great. So right here in this same spot, so you can flip this chart and it's almost like, oh look, it's Hershey's right here. But no, this is markets. This is the ES, the S&P 500. And at the same time, Hershey's bottom and started rallying. ES just started dumping. And it wasn't just ES. The whole market's dumped like that. So, same thing. ES starts dumping right here in the this section. And then, look at that, though. What? 62% up in half a year. From October to April of the following year. And so from here, you've got October to April of the following year on this guy, and it dumped 25%. Just something I've observed in looking at some charts. And we can go over here too, to the dot-com bubble. Same thing. Started rolling over well in advance, actually way in advance, all the way in summer of 2005, and then again, look what happens. Right at the bottom, when the market starts rolling over, consolidates and starts rallying out of that while the market's dumping in CDO crisis, big short stuff, all that crap. So just something that I think is noteworthy. Even did it in the small blip in the summer crash of 2015. Had a really big violent crash. It was like 20-something%. So it even did it there. Same thing. So that's why I've been watching this chart like a hawk, because I think it's very important. It has been tried and true, and we've broken out of, yeah, breaking, that's some good English. we've broken out of this rising wedge, which is typically a bearish pattern. And so now we're making our way down. It does have earnings coming up here in in February. It does have that, so we'll see what goes on there. That's actually, oh shit, that's actually this week on the 4th. All right. But yeah, if we want to look at it on monthly, kind of to show what we were looking at with the other stuff I just showed y'all with these little patterns, bam, bam. We have this little pattern breaking out. We'll see if this breaks down continuously, like it is showing now on the shorter time frames. That would be really interesting. If it lost like 137, 138 here in the next few months, I'd start to get real, and there hasn't been a big crash in markets, I'd start to get really prepared and maybe starting to take some of my risk off. One thing that is coming out next week, don't forget, next Monday, a week from today, you got the ETH futures. If y'all don't remember what happened on Bitcoin futures the day they launched, we're going to scroll back in time. Oh, not on the Bitcoin future chart, though. Whoops. Well, I guess we can show that so you can see what day it was. 17th of 2017. And let's zoom in over here. You might have seen this. You might have not. I've shown it a couple times on here. Look at that. Look at that. Literally the top to the frickin' day. Finance is a dirty game, y'all. It's a very dirty game. That's why you got to be nimble and be able to change your mind quickly. It might have been, I can't remember who said this, but he was losing a shit ton of money, and they were like, man, how did you like make up, and he ended up closing up on the year. And the dude was like, the interviewer was like, well, how did you like make all that up? And like, what did you do? Like, oh my God, like it's some super crazy secret. And the trader just goes, oh, I just changed my mind and got on the other side of the trade. And it's like, oh, okay, shit. Sometimes it is that freaking simple, y'all. But yeah, to the day, it was the freaking top. And again, if they only let you go long on ETH futures, which I don't think will happen this time, but I don't know. There's been a lot of shenanigans for the last couple weeks, as y'all are all very well of. But if they do that again, I would be extremely cautious on cryptocurrencies. And that is next Monday. So, I'll be definitely lightening my load this week into that announcement because I want to kind of see how that plays out. Because I don't want to get caught with my pants down. Because the next day after that shit, whoa, sorry, I'm going to go further back, y'all. Like, what was that dump? Scrolling back in time. Here we go. It was only about 7%, but then it was followed by another 7, and then another 6, and then a massive dump of 30% in one day. Yes, it did get bid back up, but hey, I'm not going to sit through a 40% drawdown if that starts rolling over. And this is like, it's not the sexiest damn chart either. So we'll just have to wait and see. That is coming up soon. I'm going to look at some stuff on my other screen here real quick. Yeah, feel free to shoot out any tickers or anything. I'm just going to tinker on this other side real fast. SYF. Oh, yeah, maybe I'll show you all that. That's another thing I've been kind of watching. Consumer credit. SYF, Synchrony Financial. If you know anything about any consumer credit action, Synchrony Financial is in like everything. I mean, like you get a bed, it's Synchrony Financial. Like a lot of cars, lots of bullshit. Care credit is on that. I mean, so much consumer, like bad credit is with Synchrony Financial. It's even in stuff that you wouldn't even think. It'll be like in the real fine print in the last page of the agreement. It'll be like, oh, brokered by Synchrony Financial. It's like, oh shit. But if there was any kind of big ass problems in credit markets, which there is, what is consumer credit right now? Consumer, let's just go ahead and look, you know, why not? I'll just turn this into like live researching. Oh, no. Consumer credit. Oh my gosh, I gotta be able to type here. Maybe I can't type very well, apparently. Oh, what is this? What is the total amount? $4 trillion. Oh, did they now? Rock. F2 pool sold. I thought I might have seen something, or someone told me that it wasn't that much. It wasn't even 10% of their holdings. I could be wrong, but maybe we can look that up here in a second and see, because I'm curious. But to finish this thought, look how much this is expanding. People are wondering, where's all this damn money coming from? Well, people are borrowing the shit out of it. That's where it's coming from. Look at this clip. Look at these. Just at a clip, it's just raising like 10%. You know, it's just going up and up and up. Well, not 10%, I'm sorry. But it's just going up a lot. I mean, $4 trillion in just consumer credit? That's so crazy. That is so crazy. And if you're exposed to that and people start defaulting, I mean, look what happened when they just got scared back here in March. You know, just a swift 60% dump in 3 weeks. Oh, nothing. Oh, man, that's brutal. And they weren't even around. They weren't even public pre-08. At least not with this ticker. They might have been under some other kind of thing. But even pre-08, they weren't even around, y'all. Like, so we can't even see in a bigger credit crunch. But we do have this blip. And now we're right at the top of this range. So I kind of decided that I'm going to short some consumer credit, because $4.1 trillion is a shit ton of consumer credit. And I bet you if we dove deep into that and you did some thorough research, I bet you a lot of those borrowers have subprime credit scores. I don't know that for a fact, but I'd be willing to bet on it. And I kind of actually am, I guess, to be fair. All right, let's go to that F2 pool thing, because that would be interesting if they sold a huge amount. Let's just search that and see what happens. Household cash is going up massively too, though. I wonder where that's coming up from. That's an interesting stat. Let's see. Where the hell are they getting that from? Oh, Reuters. What's a good place to look at that? Yeah, whatever. We'll look at Reuters. It's dated on December. 1, 2, 3 trillion. Yeah, I bet you that's really concentrated though into like less than 1% of people, if I had to guess. I don't know that. I haven't read any of this, but that would just be a hunch. And does household cash count the equity markets rising in household assets? Yeah, if that counts real estate, that would make sense. I don't know if is household cash like just cash directly? Do you know, Rock? Like super liquid in your bank, like savings and stuff? Or does it actually count, that value of your house and stuff you have in equities, etc.? Because if that's the case, then that's probably a little bit misleading if it counts like the value of your house and other things like that. I'm not sure though. I would love to see what you say about that. Selling Bitcoin. Oh, look at that. If you just put space, F2 pool space, selling Bitcoin's the first one. So apparently that's a big topic of discussion right now. Well, let's just see what this stupid Reddit post says. Maybe they have a link. This post has removed by the moderators. What, you can't even talk about that? Why would the moderators remove that? What? That seems weird. What the shit is that? Huh. I don't understand that. Mass selling pushed Bitcoin down, but buyers stepped in. Yeah, I wish I could remember where the hell I saw that. I thought there was an interview with one of the guys that worked there, and he said that it wasn't even 10% of their entire holdings, and that they've mined like 1,000,000 Bitcoin in the last like 8 years or some shit. But I'm not sure. Well, I guess here's kind of... Yeah, see, so it's not that much. If this is true here, the outflow total on this graph right here. I mean, yeah, I mean, they definitely have sold some, but... well, this is kind of a shitty chart. I guess if that is outflow, though, it looks like that's orange. Yeah, so, shit, I guess that is quite a bit. Maybe that is a little bit concerning. Maybe they're scared of the Ethereum futures, too. So that's just cash? Okay. So then maybe... Yeah, well, shit, that's a lot of cash. I wonder where the hell these people are getting that. You know, it's not no from... Yeah, it definitely is. After kind of re-looking at that chart, yeah, that's definitely a lot. I mean, it's the most ever outflows that they've had in this tiny chart, though. Oh, that only goes back to last summer, so... Yeah, I don't like when articles do that, though. They need to put, like, more data on here, because you can cherry-pick the shit out of that if you only put, you know, not even a year's worth of info on there. Here, maybe this one's a little bit better, the reserve. Yeah, I mean, so if this... Is this the reserve?